In a busy part of Chicago, there was a young man named Matthew. He wasn't a criminal, he wasn't a bad person, but he was lost. Every day he sat outside a subway entrance with a small cup, asking people for money just to get through the day. Life had reduced him to survival. No purpose, no direction, just another day and another excuse. People walked past him like he didn't exist. Some dropped a few coins out of pity, but most ignored him completely. And slowly, Matthew started believing something dangerous, that he had nothing to offer, that his life didn't matter. But one afternoon, something unexpected happened. A man stopped in front of him. He wasn't just well-dressed, there was something different about him. Calm, peaceful, like he wasn't in a hurry like everyone else. Matthew held out his cup, expecting money, but instead the man looked at him and asked, "Why do you believe you have nothing to give?" Matthew was confused. "I'm just trying to survive," he said. "I have nothing." The man smiled gently and said something that hit deeper than money ever could. God didn't create you empty. You were created with purpose. But as long as you believe you have nothing, you will keep living like you have nothing. And then he walked away. No money, no help, just words. But those words didn't leave. That night, Matthew couldn't sleep. For the first time in years, he wasn't blaming the world, he was questioning himself. What if I'm wrong? What if I do have something to give? The next day, he didn't beg, he just sat there, thinking. On the third day, he noticed something small, a few wildflowers growing through cracks in the sidewalk. Simple, beautiful, alive. And suddenly, something clicked. The next person who dropped money into his cup, Matthew did something different. He handed them a flower. At first it felt strange, but the person smiled. For the first time, someone didn't look at him with pity, they looked at him with appreciation, and that changed everything. Day by day, Matthew continued. He gave a flower with every coin he received, and something powerful began to happen. People didn't just give money anymore. They stopped, they smiled, they spoke to him, because he wasn't just asking anymore. He was giving. Weeks later, he saw that same man again. This time, Matthew didn't hold out his cup. He stood up. He said, "I understand now. I had something to give all along." The man smiled and said, "That's what Jesus teaches. It is more blessed to give than to receive." In that moment, everything became clear. Matthew realized his problem was never poverty, it was perspective. He had been living like a beggar when God had created him with purpose. That day, Matthew made a decision. He left that street, not as a man who needed help, but as a man who had found direction. Months later, Matthew wasn't sitting outside the subway anymore. He had built something small, something honest, something real. But more importantly, he had found faith. Because when you truly understand who God created you to be, you stop living like you have nothing, and you start living like you were made for more. Don't live your life believing you are empty, because God never creates anything without purpose.